Hi, I am Julie Jaratsrivisit number 351563. Today I'm going to talk about a case reflection of Stanford Prison experiment. Stanford Prison experiment was created and demonstrated by Philip Zimbardo in 1971 was a famous test, and there is still an argument about whether this experiment was moral or not. The Stanford Prison experiment was designed to observe participants in guard and jailer roles. For an accurate result, prisoner roles were not informed to become a part of the experiment properly. The observation expressed the depth of human feelings when they occupied authorities from regular people before becoming cruel wardens, or hopeless feelings from jailers. Whether they did not know what they did was inaccurately and faced threats. First, the experiment showed how power dynamics and authority affect in human beings, and it could direct their life direction. In the Stanford Prison experiment, the guards had authority and could use it without limit. By receiving permission from Philip Zimbardo, Zimbardo and the guards kidnapped all the participants to be in prisoner roles and unescorted by consent to make the investigation realistic. Moreover, the offenders were reduced of humanity and had to adapt themselves rapidly to relate to the role for not getting more harmful. The wardens enjoyed the authority they had and preferred to continue to the next level to assault and abuse the participants by not letting them sleep, using mentally being abused and dying. However, Zimbardo became a part of it by forgetting the experiment's objective. Like in the beginning, Zimbardo decided to be in the prison as prison superintendent role instead of the researcher, to be harmonious in the situation and not cut attention from the jailer role. Zimbardo released in power and became to be a part of the guards. This showed how people have power and take advantage of others by caring for their power only. Concerns about ethics in psychological research were another issue in the Stanford experiment. The main problem in this research was that there was no informed consent from the participants. They received only the preliminary experiment information only, but there was no explanation of the mental and feelings effects that could happen later from disrespectful treats. It was a disappointment and unprofessional research information was provided, and making the respondent not genuinely decide whether the participant in the experiment. It was not different to scam people to take advantage on them. Zimbardo had two roles in the Stanford research. He was an experiment leader to be neutral and ensure the test went well. Still, since he started as prison superintendent, he became to be a part of the guards controlling jailers to see in prison perspective and lost his goal. The last factors is human nature and environmental influences. Show how things around people can shape their actions and change their lives. For instance, a toxic environment can push ordinary individuals to develop harmful behaviors or adopt negative thought patterns. Some people unknowingly absorb toxicity, while others feel trapped and unable to escape from these situations. Concerning the Stanford jail experiment, the college students quickly conformed to the guards and prisoners' role, drastically altering their behavior. However, these participants were not inherently violent. It was the environment that pressured them and molded them into these roles. the gas rapidly shifted into cruel, inhuman figures, while the prisoner, despite having on prior experience of oppression, chose to give in entirely and submitted. This experiment helped audiences to grasp how people's behavior can change drastically under stress and hopelessness. This a powerful reminder that in extreme conditions, even those who might never harm others can be driven to do so just to avoid being indifferent or to prevent becoming victims themselves. This experiment shows why some people who might be peaceful in ordinary settings become involved in acts of cruelty or follow orders unthinkingly in harsh situations. The Stanford Prison experiment demonstrates how power and authority are essential nowadays, and how environments could affect humans. It pushes people to be opposite of how they are. The Stanford experiment caught audiences' attention and criticism about social rules or politics. The experiment defect was that participants did not receive accurate information. After this research, people paid attention more like how they used to be to understand about the consent than they used to. Ultimately, this experiment was used to remind people of social rules and how power could remain. People how important ethics are in psychology research to protect participants. Thus, the Stanford Prison experiment was utilized in human behavior education and educated audiences in righteousness to research about violation, right, prevention in the future participants. This teaches an important lesson that granting someone unrestricted power can quickly lead to harmful behaviors and abuse. It also highlights the need to maintain fairness and adhere to ethical standards at every research process step. Thank you.